All right, well, I'm going to record this and I'm just going to jump right in and get started because I know everybody's time is valuable. And thank you so much for joining tonight. I am so excited to get started on this next round of the Faster Way. We have 11 people in our group. I'm super pumped. About half of them are returning clients from the last round. And for you new people, before you're like, what? I have to do this again? You do not. This is meant to be done either once or twice. This is not a for lifer program. So I'm super excited that half the people are returning and committing to kind of cement what they learned in round one and really keep it going in round two. So I'm super pumped to be leading all of you guys. This program is really meant to help create a healthy lifestyle that is sustainable. And that will really help you give more energy and reach your goals in life from that standpoint. So I want you to trust the process, and staying positive is the key. So many of you new people are probably wondering, what the heck did you sign up for? How does this work? And what did you get yourself into? So welcome. You're going to find out. Every one of you joined this group because you have a goal or you have a change in your life that you need, and that is unique to you. But think about it. A goal really is just a momentary change. Think if you were to have a messy room and you worked up the motivation to clean your room. You would celebrate that and be excited, but a week later you would have the messy room again because you didn't fix the system in place. You only fixed the end outcome of the messy room. You didn't fix your clutter-filled habits that created the messy room. So achieving that goal was only for a moment. It was temporary. So in order for change to stick for good, we need to solve at the results level, the systems level, all of the inputs that go into the day-to-day. We don't want to fix work for the goal level at the end. So that's what this program is going to do. It is going to be focusing on the system, the day-to-day way of living. Because if you're able to kind of fix the system and fall in love with the system, then the goal will follow. And goals are great. They're awesome. But they are the big results that can help motivate us and are great for direction setting. But the processes are what's important that lead to those results. So if we want better results, we're going to look at the system instead. So over the next 7 weeks, we will be focusing on the systems, designing the system, and having a system that you love. That's when it's important. In order for these new habits to stick and become sustainable and give you the results you want, you have to love them. So I don't want you to think you're not going to be successful until you reach your goal. My goal is for you to fall in love with the day-to-day way in which you choose your nutrition choices, in which you work out, and really fall in love with the process and want that to be ingrained in you and part of your habits, such that you reach your goals as by default of loving the system. So commitment to the day-to-day system and enjoying it is what we're working on here. And for my returning clients, I'm super excited that you're doing round two because as you saw in round one, progress is not necessarily linear. Those first couple of weeks probably were the hardest weeks where you were learning all of the strategies and implementing all the strategies and figuring out up from down, right from left, but yet you didn't see progress right away. And like I said, progress is not linear, and that can be frustrating. And that's why a lot of people are not successful in achieving their goals or setting new habits because they get discouraged when they don't see quick wins and quick results. But in order to get to those breakthrough moments, those are the results of all of your previous actions. So you really have to stick with it and have all of those new good habits compound to get to the other side and see results. So for you round two people who did round one, the compounding effect of sticking with these new habits is going to give you even better results. You're going to experience those breakthrough moments where you see the results that you want and you feel great and love the system. And for the new people, the results that my round one group saw were fantastic. I had people lose 7, 9, 10, over 20 pounds in round one alone, some of which are now doing round two and focusing on their next level. There were other people that did round one, not necessarily to lose weight, but needed a jump start in focusing on their nutrition or a jump start on implementing strength training and working on the exercise portion of it. And they were highly successful too. So everybody had their own unique goal that they worked on throughout this program. So focusing on that overall system and falling in love with it day to day is what is key here. And you'll hear me repeating. You'll hear me say we're getting 1% better every day. We're working on progress over perfection as we work through all of these new strategies. So with all that said, I'm going to go over a few just quick group rules, and then I'll give a high level overview of, the nuts and bolts of what I'm talking about here. So group rules, I let everybody into the Facebook group. Not everybody has accepted. So tomorrow morning, if you still haven't accepted the Facebook group, I'll reach out to you individually and resend it and figure out how to get you in. But that's how we're going to communicate. So if you have questions, I want you to post them on the Facebook group, because chances are if you have the question, somebody else has the same question. So it's kind of a good way for everybody to get feedback on what's going on. We will have a daily thread. You may have saw today I posted our daily thread with an update and a welcome. That is where you will post your questions to each day. And starting next week for new clients and this week for returning clients, you will post your macro pie chart. And that is a screenshot of your MyFitnessPal app. And that's a way that I will be able to kind of stay in touch and see how the nutrition part of the program is going and give you feedback. So that's the great thing about having round 2 people in here. You'll see them doing that this week and get a feel for how that works. I do want you to keep me updated daily. That's rule number 2. You will do that through the daily thread and posting of your macro pie charts. And if for some reason you didn't finish logging, just still touch base. Give your update and be like, hey, I don't have my chart to post today, but I ate great all day, or things fell off the rails today, I'm back on tomorrow. Just touch base. That's why we have this accountability. We have this motivation group. So we are going to be touching base every day as we work through it over the next 7 weeks. And then lastly, stay off the scale. I know there are many of you who are doing this program to lose weight, but I don't want a number to dictate your mindset. And like I said, progress is not necessarily linear. You may lose a few pounds, gain 1 or 2 back, lose a few, and it may look like that. And so you don't want to be stepping on the scale on the wrong day and then completely lose your positive mindset because of what a number told you. So do me a favor, get your starting weight in this week, today, tomorrow, and then just stay off the scale and go with how you're feeling. Go with how you're committed to trying this and the process and the system and falling in love with it, and then let the results follow, and we'll touch back in at the end of 7 weeks on the scale and see what the number said. So those are kind of the group rules. So now I'm just quickly want to go over the program itself. Like I said, the nuts and bolts of what we're going to be doing. The program philosophy starts with nutrition. I had people in round 1 last time who didn't even look at the exercises or exercise. They truly just needed a jump start on their nutrition. There were other people who wanted nutrition and exercise, or there were other people who just wanted nutrition and were doing their own exercise. So everybody's going to be coming about it from a different approach, but at the core of it is nutrition. Nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. That's like 80% of the focus of what we'll be talking about. And then we'll just intentionally be layering on exercises to really get maximum benefits. So I'm going to break the nutrition component down into 3 parts. The first part is a whole foods focus that is gluten-free and dairy-free. And the reason for this being that both gluten and dairy are inflammatory foods. So your body is using some of your energy to fight that inflammation. And if you can rid your body of that inflammation by not having gluten and dairy, then you will just feel that much more energetic, and your blood sugar levels will respond better, and you'll have more energy to live your life. Now, I spoke earlier about falling in love with the process. I had one client in round 1 who was like, I hate the idea of giving up dairy. I'm not going to give up dairy. That was okay. In that case, they were still able to see results, but they knew from the get-go that if they had to give up dairy, that would not be sustainable for life, and they just didn't want to do it. So when I talk about falling in love with the process, if there's anything in here that you know you just absolutely cannot do and you'll fight it tooth and nail, well, let's talk about that and figure out if it's really worth doing even though you hate it, or if that's something that we can kind of put to the side and not do. there, but I really do want you to try to be gluten-free and dairy-free if you can for 7 weeks. After 7 weeks, you maybe can try to put it back in and see if you notice any difference in your body. You might not feel inflammation now, but once you take it away for 7 weeks and put it back in, you might be like, oh my gosh, I felt so much better without it. And then you'll go back to recommitting to it. So it's just something to try for that 7 week period. When you eat whole foods, you just will feel an amazing, amazing increase in your energy level. Processed foods are made in the lab. They're made to be addictive. They're made to want you overeat. They're made to want you crave more processed carbs. So the more you can focus on whole foods, the better you will control kind of your cravings. So that is nutrition philosophy number 1. Nutrition philosophy number 2 is we are going to be carb cycling. So this can make you sound all like fancy and you know what you're talking about from a nutrition standpoint when people are like, oh my gosh, you know what carb cycling is? Even people at my husband's gym were like, whoa, you're carb cycling? I really want to try that. The trainers, they were kind of impressed by it. It is a blend of a lot of the different eating methods out there. So you have keto, which for various reasons is not a good long-term sustainable strategy. There are some people that flourish on it and do great. I did keto for a while, but at the end of the day, I really just wanted a sweet potato and an apple. And I'm like, that's not a way to live your life. Not even to mention some of the hormone imbalances and other things that it can cause. However, there are benefits to reducing your carbs strategically and periodically, especially when it comes to fat loss. If you're continually fueling your body with carbs, it's very hard to access those fat stores in your body. So that's why some people can never lose those last 5 to 10 pounds because it becomes impossible for their body to ever even access their fat if they're constantly fueling their body with carbs. So in the Fast Away program, we are going to be strategically lowering our carbs just 2 days a week on Mondays and Tuesdays in order to access those fat stores. You also will then become a fat burner. You're going to stop your body from craving sugar because you're not going to be giving it carbs or sugar. And that will be another benefit of carb cycling and having 2 days a week that are low carb. And I will educate on this during the week through the daily Facebook posts. So by the time week 1 starts on Monday, you have a better idea of kind of your plan of attack for the day. But we'll be focusing on eating 50 grams of net carbs or less. And a net carb is your carbohydrate less your fiber. And that is more lenient than keto. It's not as strict as keto. Keto people are focusing on net 20. So there still is room to eat a ton of your fibrous vegetables, maybe even a few berries and things of that nature. So we're not going super hardcore strict, but we do want to lower our carbs on 2 days a week in order to gain the benefits of becoming a fat burner, reduce our sugar cravings, and access those fat stores that we all want to. And I will get into more tips and tricks, but essentially when those days come, you're just going to take your carbs and you're going to substitute them with extra vegetables and focus on increasing your healthy fats. And so we'll work through it. That's why we're here for 7 weeks together. Again, progress over perfection. I don't expect new clients to get it right day 1. And then the third nutritional element is intermittent fasting. I am a huge fan of intermittent fasting. I've been intermittent fasting for over 2 years. I personally intermittent fast not for the scale victories, not for the weight loss benefits, but more so for the non-scale victories. You get unbelievable energy and clarity and time back by not eating breakfast. And you do not need breakfast to get your metabolism going. So intermittent fasting, there's so many different ways to do it, but the protocol that this program follows is a 16-8 protocol, which means you're going to fast for 16 hours and eat for 8 hours. It's not a diet, it's just an eating schedule. You're going to take the same amount of food you would normally eat and put it in that 8-hour window. Essentially, that means you're skipping breakfast. So if you stop eating, dinner and a snack at 8 p.m., you're then going to sleep the majority of that fasting period. And then when you wake up, you can have your black coffee, you can have water, herbal teas. And then around, 11 noon, that's when you break your fast. Just like your body doesn't wake up at 3 in the morning because you're hungry, your body will get used to skipping breakfast, and then you will not be hungry for breakfast after your body adjusts. It can take a couple of days. And I will tell you, I was super impressed with how, I don't want to say easily, because it definitely is a commitment that you're making, but how pretty easily it came to most of my clients in round 1. There were even some that were like, I do not like the idea of this. I don't want to do it, but I was super proud of them. They went for it, and they actually ended up succeeding at it and feeling great about it. And you get time back. Think about it. When you're busy in the morning trying to get out the door, it's one less thing you have to do is to feed yourself. And then you're eating less times a day. So I personally am so much more focused on the quality of what I'm eating because of the fact that I don't have 5 to 6 meals a day. I'm only eating 2 to 3. And so I care so much more about what I eat. So I'm able to increase my focus on whole foods because of the fact that I'm not cooking for myself 5 to 6 times a day. So in a nutshell, and again, all of the daily posts will educate you on these topics this week. And it's prep week. So new clients, you can try some of these if you want to. But really, my recommendation is, in order for this to stick and for you to figure out what you love and what you're going to implement in your new system going forward to create healthy habits that get you the results you want, don't try to do all 3 in prep week. My recommendation for prep week is to focus on transitioning to the whole food focus. So cut out the carbs. No, don't cut out the carbs. Cut out the gluten, cut out the dairy, and focus on complex carbs. So those that are not processed. So your sweet potatoes, butternut squash, oats, things of that nature. And then focus on eliminating gluten and dairy and really focus on your whole foods. That would be my recommendation for prep week. Because if you are fueling your body correctly, then intermittent fasting will be easier. So we really want to focus on that whole foods first. So that's my recommendation, new clients. Focus on your whole foods, educate yourself, read the daily posts, look through the comprehensive program guide, and gain that base level knowledge so that when we start week 1 on Monday and we start with the carb cycling, which will be low carb Monday, Tuesday, regular macro Wednesday through Sunday, and we add in the intermittent fasting, that you're ready to go. And we'll do another call next week and we can talk about strategies of how to implement intermittent fasting, what exactly to do for carb cycling. So don't feel overwhelmed. Okay, so that was kind of the nutrition overview. So now for this week, new clients, I have, I think, 4 to-dos for you. Okay, so the first one is I will be posting tonight videos on MyFitnessPal and the food cycle overview. So the food cycle overview will be a video that goes into much more detail on how the carb cycling works, what a low carb day is, what a regular macro day is, and we'll focus really more on that. I want you to watch that video. The second video I will be posting is a MyFitnessPal video. It is an app. It also has a web-based application. Some of you I know have used it before, others it may be new to you. I want you to download that app and set it up. So the MyFitnessPal video that I'll post will walk you through kind of how to set up the app and the inputs that you want to put in based on your unique goals. Everybody is going to have a different goal in MyFitnessPal because we all have different heights, weights, weight loss goals, and activity levels. So one person's goal is going to be different than another person's goal. So we're not going to kind of compare how people do on the pie charts. We're all here to kind of motivate and support each other. And frankly, you can't compare since they're all different. So that is to-do number 1. Watch the videos I post and set up MyFitnessPal. After you do that, I have a new client assessment form I want you to fill out. And that's step 2, because I am going to ask you to give me the outcome of what MyFitnessPal told you your total calorie should be, because I want to sign off on that. I want to make sure that the inputs you used gave you the correct output so that we are aligned on your food intake for the program. So that is 1 and 2 of your priorities. Your third to do this week is what I just talked about, focusing on the whole food eating. Start to get rid of the gluten and the dairy in your house and start to increase the healthy complex carbs, the fibrous veggies, things of that nature. And that will get you set up well and start to have your body get energized by that whole food eating. If you're stuck on anything, let me know. If you're like, oh, I just can't get rid of bread. Well, I use like the brown rice tortillas from Trader Joe's for wraps or quesadillas or something of that nature. So if there's something that you're struggling to give up, let me know and we can come up with kind of how you can work that out. And you have 7 weeks to get there. So baby steps, 1% better every day is how we're going to be doing this. And then lastly, your fourth thing is just kind of play around with MyFitnessPal, log some of your food here and there if you want to. Start to educate yourself on the common things you eat and start to learn what is in them. MyFitnessPal will tell you the amount of carbs, protein, and fat. Those are the key top 3 macros we're going to be looking at. So start logging some of your, go-to foods that you eat and start to educate yourself on what's in them. Also, start to get a baseline on what your normal eating schedule is. Just observe how you normally eat. Do you normally fast for 12 hours because of sleep and eat for 12 hours? Or are you already at a 14, 10? Or are you, eating from the second you wake up at 6 a.m. until you go to bed at midnight? And so you have a much larger eating schedule. Just observe your baseline so that you know when we start next week where you're starting from. And then returning clients. All right. You know the drill, so we're going to keep it going. Macro counting every day this week. I know there are 2 people on vacation. I know somebody else is going on vacation at the end of the week, and I know somebody else has a vacation in March. So they've all told me those are like fun vacations. They're not going to be tracking their macros and posting their charts. It's totally fine. But outside of that, still continue to post your macro charts every single day. So what does 1% better look for you, returning clients? Now that you know the drill and now that you know the basics, I want you to start to think about, this is round 2. After round 2, this is now going to be your life, and you're going to pick what's sustainable that you're doing on your own. So I really want you to focus on how you can fall in love with the process even more, how your system works, and what habits you have set that are sustainable beyond this program. You may decide that you absolutely love intermittent fasting and are going to continue that forever. You may decide that you love the carb cycling. What habit is it that you formed that you're going to continue and carry on? I personally do all of them. I love all the nutrition. That's why I'm such a big fan of the Faster Way and why I'm coaching it now. I think it's based on science. It all works together and makes sense. If I happen to have like an off the rails weekend, I know that I'm going to hit it hard on Monday, Tuesday with my low carb days and my HIIT exercises. And it's like my reset button. So having this kind of the program and it all fit together, it really is a sustainable lifestyle that works. So I really want you guys to fall in love with it, and hopefully you love it all and you're cementing it all. But returning clients, I want to have a call with you this week, or some of you I've emailed with. I want to know what your specific goals are now for round 2 and how I can better address them such that you are good to go after this and have successfully implemented this successful lifestyle. So that was the nutrition piece. Again, there's going to be more videos posted online to watch this week. We'll do another training next week before week 1 starts. But since nutrition is such a big focus, I really just want to cover that this week. And then next week, I'll start to talk about some of the workouts and the exercises and how to add them in as well. But I do not want to overwhelm you, especially because you have a couple of to-dos in setting up MyFitnessPal and getting started with that. But I want to give you a little bit of a preview that this program, the pyramid of the program, obviously nutrition is the foundation and the base. That's why I'm spending so much time on it. But the next level of the program is actually rest. And when you think about it, a lot of the focus of the nutrition is reducing the stressors inside your body by focusing on whole foods and eating the right way. So it makes sense that rest is the next philosophy in this program, in this lifestyle. Because again, we want to reduce the stress on our body so that we have the most energy that we possibly can have and can fulfill our purpose in life. So throughout this program, I know it's so hard. We all have a million things to do, but at the end of the day, trying to get to bed at a consistent time and wake up at a consistent time and get the good quality sleep that you need will be so important for feeling energized as well and achieving your goals. So I really encourage you to take the time over the next 7 weeks and get to bed a little bit earlier. Get that consistent 7+ hours of sleep. Get an unwinding down routine at night such that you can fall asleep right away and get good quality sleep. That's super important. And so that also means that I'm saying rest is number 2. It's coming before the workouts. If you are exhausted, if you're not getting good sleep, don't go add more stress on your body by pushing yourself to work out. You're defeating the purpose. Your body is going to crap out. It's going to go into that fight or flee mode and just activate your stress hormones. You don't want to do that. So really understand that rest is important. So once we have the nutrition in place, once we are well rested, that's when we can focus on the workouts. And from a workout perspective, lifting actually is prioritized first. Getting in exercises that really activate your muscles and build that lean muscle mass is what is most important. Then after you get the lifting in, the next is the cardio. Cardio is done on Mondays and Tuesdays, aligning it with those low carb days. It makes sense. Those are the days you're trying to access your fat stores. So those are the days we're going to get the cardio in, and it's the high intensity cardio. It's short, it's quick, but it gets a burn going that will have that after calorie burning effect. So that is kind of the high level on the workouts, but really I want this week to focus on the nutrition and educating yourself on how the program works and really being ready to go on Monday. But ready to go means ready to give it a try. Like you now understand what you've read, you've focused on the whole foods this week, you have your MyFitnessPal ready to go, and you're ready to start giving it a try. I do not expect you to be perfect day one. This is why we have 7 weeks together. If this was as easy as you reading the program guide and implementing it yourself, you wouldn't need a 7-week accountability program. I expect you to have questions. I expect you to be like, oh my gosh, I had people who are like, I forgot what day it is. I ate low carb. I thought it was regular macro. Like, nah, we'll try again tomorrow. It's going to happen. It's okay. That's why we have 7 weeks together. But if you have the positive mindset, if you focus on falling in love with the process and the system and figuring out how you can make that work best for you, you will be successful. And that's what I want for you. I personally, I love it. I think it's amazing. That's why I've become a coach. I have the energy I need in my life to go all day. And I also have the freedom and the flexibility to figure out how to fit in the foods I like within the parameters of the macro counting and the carb cycling. I eat dessert almost every day because that's what I like to eat. And I fit it in and I focus on healthy whole foods. And it has given me the structure and system in my life that I love, that the results are just a byproduct of that. And that is what I want for you. So that is really the high level overview and kickoff call I wanted to have today. I'll continue to educate you all week through the daily posts. And then we will do another one probably next Monday night, the same time, as we are kicking off that first week, to really do kind of one more deep dive on macros and nutrition and calculating it, all of it, and tips and tricks for MyFitnessPal, and really getting into the nitty gritty a little bit more. I just wanted to give you the high level here to understand the importance of nutrition, the importance of a positive mindset, and the importance of really enjoying what you're doing and learning during the 7 weeks such that it sticks and becomes a lifestyle for you. I have a pop-up, just ignoring that. So anyways, remember to post all your questions to the Facebook group. I know that was like probably a ton of information and you're probably still like, what did I get myself into? 1% better day by day. You'll learn 1% day by day. We have 7 weeks together. So chat away if anybody has questions, but nobody's popped up with any questions. So really I'm pretty much right on the half-hour timeline I thought I would be. So welcome to the Faster Way group. Again, super excited you're all here. And we will continue to communicate through the Facebook group. It's a great group. I'm so excited to be leading you all, and we are going to hit it hard, and you all are going to love it. So with that, everybody have a great week. Again, new clients, focus on that Whole Foods this week and educating yourself, and returning clients. I expect you to continue to hit it, post those pie charts, get those workouts in, do everything you've been doing, continue to crush it, and I will touch base with you individually to figure out how we can make round 2 more specific to you this go around. So, all right, I'll post this replay too in case there's anything you want to see again, and for those who couldn't make it. But everybody have a great night, and I will see you on the Facebook group tomorrow. Thanks.